was men's criteria for a good blowjob.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the key things, guess what? And I'm like, oh, gag reflex. I'm thinking of all these things, no teeth, And she goes, it was actually enthusiasm.
Yeah, okay.
You're listening to the Spicy Bananas podcast, where nothing's off limits and everything's up for juicy convo. From body confidence to bedroom truths, we'll keep it bold, real, and a little cheeky, B2.
And a little juicy. All right, we're your hosts, B1 and B2. Two mates we've spent years together helping couples or anyone get comfortable with life's awkward moments. And today we're diving into the wide world of Tinder with two women who wrote the book on it, literally.
Welcome. Thank you so much, ladies.
Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Excited.
All right. Well, joining us today are Carmen and Maureen, the hilarious and brilliant hosts of How to Get Laid on Tinder. What? How to Get Laid on Tinder?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. And authors of the book of the same name. Their mission, helping men communicate better online, leading to better outcomes for both sides of the swipe. There's a left and there's a right.
You're new to this.
Oh, yeah, so new. She's not. They don't just dish out dating advice. They get vulnerable, tell the real stories, and serve up practical strategies that actually work. Like their virtual TikTok, 4 things women don't like during sex. Yeah, I know them. Get ready for some real talk. All right, so ladies, again, welcome. So we've actually got the Tinder Whisperers with us right now.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Tinder Whisperers. Tinder Whisperers. What's the weirdest DM you've ever received?
There's too many. Where do we start? I think the weirdest one was around a guy asking me if I would pretend to be his mother.
Right. Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he told me that he was fascinated with his mother's breasts, and needless to say, the conversation didn't last very long.
No.
Excited just one.
Yeah. Block.
I don't know. Yeah, block.
Because the thing is, you swipe right if you're interested, and then you get a match. And as women, there's far greater probability of you getting matches because it's just in the law of averages. There's loads more men on there.
Mm-hmm.
So the men have to work quite hard when they do get a match. Yeah. And sometimes they do really well, and sometimes not.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, that's what you hear, and that's why we're here today, like to just get those little secrets and stuff, right?
True.
Like, well, men mainly, but
what about you, Carmen?
I am the reason I get some weird messages because on my Tinder profile, I have a sentence, the last sentence saying, to let me know that you've read my profile, mention green frogs.
Right.
And so I get the men who read my profile mention green frogs. Some are just like a green frog emoji. That's boring. But some are like, you have to kiss a few frogs before you find your Prince Charming. Or there's like so many creative ways to include green frogs in the first message. Right. And it just entertains me greatly.
Oh,
excellent.
Nice. So obviously, Carmen, you're single.
I am.
You are. Maureen.
Yes, so I'm single. My story is that I had 2 anonymous sperm donor children on my own and was very, very busy raising them, and then woke up one day and realised it was 7 years since I'd had sex.
Did it not close up?
That's what can happen.
And so, and then I was really nervous because from the time that I'd been dating to the time that I had children and was raising them, the apps weren't around. So all of a sudden I was in this new frontier that I had to navigate. And it's really scary when you haven't done it before.
So do you remember Telecafe?
No.
What? This one does.
You used to ring up on the phone, dial the phone, like... Sorry. It's so funny. Yeah, this is before apps and this is before smartphones. So I'm talking late 90s, early 2000s. It was called Telecafe, and that's how you'd dial it and you'd listen and go, you have a message. Yeah, so I thought you ladies would remember that. Yeah. There'll be some...
Carmen would really like that because she's really auditory, so she really needs to hear someone's voice and speak to them. So whereas I'm really visual, so I can get a vibe just by looking at a photo and reading what they say.
Yeah, so quite like Hinge because it's got like the voice prompts now, and so I can just listen to that like 10 seconds and I can go, oh, I think I might be into him or
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, years ago.
Well, Kelly's single. I've been in an amazing relationship for the last nearly
6 years, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Long time.
Oh, shit. He's outside mowing, so I think it's right. So I was saying to Kel, like, with Tinder, I'm like, is it left or right? Which one? I'm like, I'm so naive to it.
I haven't been on Tinder for a while, for a few years actually. I kind of gave up on the app thing at the moment. That was me, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think you do. It just goes with your energy. So sometimes, that's what I want to do right now. The worst thing people can do, I think, is get on when they want instant gratification or to feel loved or liked. And so you feel a bit down, you want attention. It's the worst time to get on because you get attention, then you don't like it or they annoy you or whatever. So the best time to get on is actually when you really want to and when you're feeling good.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
your expectations aren't too high, right? So
yeah,
you're not trying to already tell yourself what you're going to hear.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also sometimes people could send you a message and, and you take it one way. I suppose it's like any conversation with anyone. And another day you're feeling a bit down on yourself or whatever, and them just saying how long you've been single. Like, what do you mean? How long have I been single? You bite their head off. When someone, Mick could have asked you 2 weeks ago and it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's not that menopause sleep's creeping in though too.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Did you start this project thinking you'd be helping men or saving women?
Well, I think a bit of both.
Yeah.
So what happened was when I started venturing in to Tinderland, I really like men, and I always have, and I had some great conversations, and I also met guys who really struggled with it.
Yeah.
And then I met guys who had formulas and did it really well, and almost the Tinder elite. And it's like there's this big gap, and it didn't make one person better than the other. They, one was just more confident or knew how to work the tool. So I guys had asked me for advice, and then I'd share what I like. I'm like, dude, don't have your jocks and your messy bedroom in the background for your profile pic. Women don't like it. You know what I mean? You're going to miss an opportunity there. So sometimes there's simple things like that. Or opening lines. One of the worst is, how are you? Like, where do you go? It's not, instead, why don't they, compliment Carmen and say, you look like a strong woman, happy hump day. Like anything that's better is better than, how's your day? So, yeah, but in helping men communicate better, have more success and build their confidence as well, then you're helping the women. Because sometimes when men get down on themselves, they get narky and they start blaming women for their lack of success. Yeah. So I think if I'm helping men, then I'm helping women.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fair.
Oh, well said. Well, what's the biggest myth about online dating that drives you nuts?
The one of the latest ones is that only 10 to 20% of the men have success, and for the rest of the men it's hard slog, and the women won't swipe on them because they're not over 6 foot tall and they're not rich and they're not good looking. And I don't think it's that the case at all. You should see some of the men Carmen swipes on, let me tell you.
Oh, yes. To elaborate.
Maureen said to me, geez, Carmen, you can be attracted to some very unattractive men. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm seeing other things. Like I don't know, attraction works in weird and wonderful ways. Like I said, maybe if they've got a sexy voice and they lift heavy, I want them. So yeah. And so like I think being like super duper handsome and everything obviously helps you a lot. But I think therefore the 80% of men who aren't like the top 20%, I think there's a lot that they can do to increase their chances. I don't think it's a lost cause. Yeah. And I think this story out there that it is a lost cause if you're not built like a Greek god, I think it's false. I mean, how many people do you see out in the shops who don't look like Greek gods with a partner?
Yeah, that's it.
I've been walking around the streets at the moment because I want to prove people wrong. I've been taking photos of women with shorter guys.
Oh, like, people watch it. I love the
put them together. Online
because both Maureen and I don't mind, someone a little bit short.
But yeah. And then there's some guys that go, no, I don't want a woman that's taller than me. They stipulate that, which is great. Yeah. There's the communication there, right? They've said, I don't want a woman that's taller than me, even with heels on. And I get that.
How short does he want them?
Well, to be honest, I don't want to be taller than my man.
No.
That's me personally, though, too. And I'm not I'm not tall anyway.
Doing fellatio could be an issue if they're standing. Like if you're taller, your back's going to be done.
Yeah, well, that's probably what's wrong with me then.
All that ergonomics, isn't it?
No, I think having sex with guys who are shorter, more around your height. I've always found it easier, and I think magic can happen.
And I think they put more effort in.
Yes,
true. Actually, Carmen, that's very true because they feel like they're compensating for their height in a sense.
Yeah.
However, they shouldn't. And guys, you should not compensate for your height. If women don't like your height, then get stuffed.
Yeah.
I say. But it's probably a bit of compensation on their sort of brainwave too. So
I've matched recently with a few men that look like gods, like their bodies are just like godlike, and they're putting no effort into the messaging, and I'm like, if I did go there with them, I don't think they're going to be very good lovers. Like I think they're just gonna
bingo.
I just don't believe it, and so like I don't want to go there with them. But maybe I'm making assumptions, but I know that's what history's told me.
Yeah, it is true. Well, I don't know. Well,
how do you know? That's because I live my life through you sometimes. So
I'm living her single life. She's living my taken life.
But yeah, you're right. That's true.
Okay.
What? Go. What did you think?
I know, right. If your vibe as a duo were a product in an adult store, so duo, what product would you be?
I don't think I want to be a sex product with Maureen. I think I would like to be separate.
I know. It's questions we're reading.
I'd have to be.
Well, what would you be individually, really?
I'd have to be a vibrator, like pleasuring women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Internal or external?
Internal.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Because I'm one of the few percentage of women who.
You can say it. Yeah, that's spicy.
Yeah, look, it's all about spice here, and it's obviously you've explored your body, so hence why you like that penetration side.
G-spot, A-spot.
Yeah, it's great. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everyone has a G-spot. I'm just trying to educate women around our area that we live in, that they come and shop in, but everywhere around the world, every woman has a G-spot. You just need to explore it. It's there. Mm-hmm. It's there. Spend some time on your body.
Maureen.
Yeah. Well, firstly, I'm one of the 3% of women who can orgasm just through muscle contraction.
Beautiful.
That's quite handy.
Yep.
Can even do it at work behind the desk. No hands.
Yeah.
We went on a holiday once. I was showing the girls.
She demonstrated. She was on the floor. We're all sitting around on the couch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep. You can play stuff out if you want to. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh, and my thing I'd probably be a butt plug.
A butt plug?
Mm-hmm.
I like butts.
Okay.
Yep.
I cannot lie.
Betty got back.
Love it. Okay. All right. You need to spill the beans on this one.
Mm-hmm.
What are the top 4 things women do wrong during sex? There's probably more than there's probably quite a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I'm just trying to think of well, one thing I would say is being too much in their head, and
guilty sometimes.
I think we all are. Yeah.
Yeah. I think not letting themselves go is a real a big one.
Yeah.
Another thing I think is they don't speak and share what they want and what they do like and they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So even though I'm a very confident woman and I've spoken to a lot of women, we don't even say it. Even if guys ask us, what do you like? I tend to go, oh, let's just see, or it's different with everybody. Like I don't, I don't go there. Yeah. So I think that's another thing that they do wrong. Carmen, what about you? What's one of the things that you think women do wrong?
I was going to say they're not speaking up, but like also acknowledging that it can be really hard to do in the moment.
Yeah.
And even hard to do afterwards. And I have trouble beforehand because I don't know what I do want with that person. Mm-hmm. So I really have trouble with that discussion beforehand of like, ooh, what positions? And I'm like, oh, it sort of depends on your dick. Like,
yeah. Do we go with the flow? Am I going to knock you out when I roll over or what?
It's the heat of the moment, really, isn't it? I guess I'm talking on a relationship basis as opposed to single Tinder style. It's even after so many years, it does differ even for couples to I don't know, but it could be just okay. God, I hope my mother's not listening, but it could be just or his mother. is just over the bench, over the kitchen table. It's in bed. It's missionary. It does depend on, I think, mood and the person, like 100% too. So you don't know the person as much as I do, therefore it's that sort of Is that making sense?
Yes,
I'm not making sense.
absolutely.
Yeah, but it's interesting whenever I say, like, if I do a TikTok around, what women do wrong, like, they're broad generalizations because, it could be anything really. I'm just looking for themes. Because whenever I do, or what men do wrong, and a whole lot of people will agree and then people will disagree.
Yeah.
So I find that quite interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all different.
Like one thing that Maureen and I are very strong about is like for a man shouldn't like force a woman's head down.
No.
But when Maureen talks about
I'll end up biting it off if
some
someone
women
does that to
go,
me.
"Oh, I love that."
Yeah.
No.
So
It's a bit of the
there's variation.
BDSM sort of side of it's not, your head's not actually restrained down with anything bar a hand, which you can knock the hand away. So there's that thought that, yes, I can move that if I want, but I actually do enjoy that sort of part of it too. So, yeah.
It's the gag reflexes I love.
Yeah. We sell gag reflexing, numbing sprays.
The other thing that a friend told me, she was in America and there was experts on stage talking about sex, and one of the things they talked about was men's criteria for a good blowjob.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the key things, guess what? And I'm like, oh, gag reflex. I'm thinking of all these things, no teeth, And she goes, it was actually enthusiasm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
That was the thing, the most important thing. It wasn't the
Wasn't eye
technique. It was
contact?
actually that you.
Eye contact.
It wasn't eye contact.
Well, that's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so hard
Sign
to
of
do.
enthusiasm, is it?
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. Without trying to rip it off.
I love it. Oh.
I think I'd be too.
Oh, look, I'm getting a hot flush just thinking about all this right now.
It's me. I do it to her.
Oh.
Oh,
I have trouble with eye contact because usually during sex I've got my eyes closed.
yes. That makes
And
you
so
enjoy
I have to think, open your eyes, Carmen, open your eyes.
You're still there, it's me doing it.
I mean, I was putting my glasses on, so I can't see anything. Like, if you like eye contact, I need to open my eyes.
Oh, my God. What's one flirting technique that works better than the guys realise?
So this one's quite good. You'd been flirting for a little bit. Like a good flirting technique is actually to ask the woman questions and listen and be, really engaged. It's a great flirting technique. And to see her for what she wants to be seen for. So if Carmen's talking about how strong she is or CrossFit, then you would, acknowledge her for that. So I think that's a really good flirting technique. And the other thing that they've done studies on, sometimes men don't know how to make the first move or whether they're going to cross the line. So a good one is to touch her hair in some way. Like, even if you've got something you've got something in your hair. Now, if she leans forward and lets you do it, then it means that she's more likely to do other things with you, like she's interested. But if she's like reacts, then she's not. So I think that's a good sign for guys when they're not knowing whether to go in for the kiss or not.
Yeah.
Very intimate hair touch, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
And then there's other things like
I don't want my hair to be touched.
Carmen does it really well with our clients over dinner, touch their legs.
By accident.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's what she says.
I'm like, did you realise you put your hand on his lap?
I was stroking the hair on his legs.
Yeah. So then there's the good old favourites, just, a little bit prolonged eye contact, but not so long that you're crazy. There's the peekaboo look, which is when you look at someone across the room and then they look at you and you look away. Those sorts of things I think are really good flirting techniques.
Yeah, okay.
I think similar to the hair touch, but maybe a tiny bit less intimate, is that like upper arm touch?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's a physical sort of slight attraction in a sense. It's, as they say, that touching the hair, and when women are talking to men, if they're doing this, they're interested, and the leg poses and all that sort of stuff. So you are sweating, aren't you?
Oh.
You guys are getting a hot. Okay. She's the Tinder queen.
She might be really reinstalling it after this.
Yeah.
You're going straight home, aren't you, after this?
Maybe.
Get a little black book out.
She's got one. Yes.
Oh, so many.
Not little.
It's ridiculous.
Not little.
If someone just wants sex, how should they actually say it without blowing up the convo?
So what my advice there is to dip your toe in the water. Don't take your clothes off and jump in the water.
Yeah.
So you're going to say something that's slightly suggestive to start with, and then you're going to see how she responds to that.
Definitely.
So and then you like there's different ways. But I think that's the key thing is not going, hey, do you want a dick pic to start with?
Yeah.
So I was talking to a guy online a while back, and we had a phone conversation because that's one of my criteria because I like the voice.
Yep.
So I had the phone conversation, and he started going, "I like the picture of you playing pool," and oh, geez, you're strong, and like so like our conversation was like sexual in nature, but wasn't explicit at all.
Yeah.
And so then we're like, well, let's catch up for a drink. And he'd sent me some pictures of him with his, torso and whatever. And then he messaged me and said, "Do you want to see some other pictures from the shower area?" And I said, no, let's leave it to the imagination.
Yeah.
And so, when we caught up, like there was a shared understanding that if there was a vibe, that it might lead to that.
Yeah.
So there was nothing explicitly said though.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you can say it. So I've got guys online, 2 messages in saying, "What do you want?" Because I just want casual. And that might work if you're,
Adonis.
Yeah.
But I think if you're in 80% of men, you might want to play it a little bit more subtly, like the other guy I just spoke about.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They sort of think that they, I guess, probably need to come on and prove a fact.
Oh, they
But you
just,
know what else they want? They want certainty, and this is the
Yeah.
part that really annoys me.
Yep.
Like sometimes you are just going to catch up for a drink and see. I'm not going to lock it in for you.
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, that's me.
Yeah.
Deep throat spray. Sorry. It'll numb that.
I'm not going to let it go.
It'll numb that tickle. It'll numb down that hair in your throat. Maureen.
So does it work?
Well, look, I think originally it's sort of like the same sort of thing if you go to a chemist and you've got a throat infection, you need that throat numbing spray. I believe, and I heard many years ago that it was a chemist that come up with it and went, actually, this industry needs a deep throat spray, and it's actually called deep throat spray. As I say to customers at work when they come in for it, you gag reflex. If it's it's numb to touch, but if it's pushed,
Yes.
you're still going to have that gag reflex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more of a what do you call it? A mind over matter thing.
Yeah.
So we're brutally honest with products and stuff like that in our store too.
Nothing that
I'll
a good
tell you.
flavoured lubricant can't fix if you really can't feel that you can't actually give a good head job.
Tell me, I don't know. It's been a long time.
So you keep telling me.
Well, what's one thing most guys are getting wrong about online communication, which we kind of have touched on, but what are they mainly getting wrong with the communication side?
From my perspective, they compliment on the physical. That's where they go. So, hey, you're sexy. You're so beautiful. And like Carmen's heard it 10 million times, it doesn't touch the sides. So that's what women are getting from everywhere. So they want to be seen, even if it's for a one night stand or something that's casual, they still want to be seen for more than how they look.
Yeah. So, for example, if in my profile I say I run a marathon, like if someone goes, "Oh, geez, that's impressive, you run a marathon," and then they might share a little bit about their fitness journey or whatever, like that is more engaging than, you look hot in that photo of you playing pool in your red bathers that Maureen took.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's that connection, right?
Yes.
It doesn't need to be a massive connection. It just needs to have some sort of, okay, I could do you. I don't know. Again.
And see, B1, what you just did there
Yes.
was Carmen shared something and then you commented on what she just shared.
Okay.
Right? That's communication 101 for, well, not even say nearly every woman, but a lot of women would get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a lower proportion of men get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you ask a woman a question online and then she answers you, comment on the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they think, oh, also I ask questions.
Yeah.
And the questions are, when's the last time you had sex? How old are you?
Where do you live?
Like short men? Like,
Where do you live?
where do you live? Or something that's just,
What do you
whatever.
want on here? How long have you been single?
So for them, it's a fine balance of asking great questions about the person, not their looks. When they get the answer, commenting, and then give something of themselves.
Yeah.
So, see, Carmen, I see you run marathons. So it's amazing. When's your next marathon? Oh, I'm training for one in 4 weeks. Oh my God, I'm so impressed. I'm actually going to do an Ironman myself. So then they give a bit of themselves. Or
Yeah.
I'm not into fitness. I just go to the gym and I love that. So you see how it's almost like taking normal conversation, but then transferring it to online.
Mhm.
And you've got a really good thing going when, like, you don't know what to answer because it's like back and forth, like a banter, a conversation that you'd have with someone if you're at the pub.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I had a lady in at work the other day, actually, it's on the topic still. What is she, 55? She's been on dating sites. She did say that she was now in this sort of relationship with a gentleman for 3 months now. Through the winter sort of periods, it came to summer. He went to pick her up at the front. They were getting along amazingly. And she had a shoestring strap sort of dress on. She said it was a really hot day. And I'm like, oh, God, love you. She was out the front. He pulled up. He looked at her and drove off. And I just looked at her and said, oh, my goodness, what had happened? I'm thinking, did you have a third boob hanging out? But if you did, he'd be like handbrake on.
Hell yeah.
We're like, this is different. Did you have a penis hanging out the side of your dress? No, she had 3 tattoos on her arms. She tried to ring him 3 times within that day, sort of giving about a couple of hours in between phone calls, and then ended up privatising her number, rung him 3 days down the track, and he said it was your tattoos. So the judgmental side of, like, even you 3 months in of knowing
Wow.
they've been on dates, and so clearly nothing has happened where in the light that he's seen the tattoos. And sadly, one is of her son and the other 2 are of her mum and dad. So it's one, I think, artwork. I think it's amazing. It's sharing memories, blah, blah, blah. But nonetheless, it's still that 3 months was sort of a lack of communication if he had such an issue with tattoos.
He should have said straight from the get-go, I'm just letting you know, if you've got tattoos, I'm not interested. Would you do that?
Her heartbreak.
Yeah.
Save his wasted time. I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't really know. Was it really the tattoos? Like, what's going on for
Be
him?
the excuse.
Carmen and I often talk about it, where you think you're getting along really well and all of a sudden they go cold or not interested. And the temptation is to go, why? What is it? Okay, and then push for an answer, and then they'll give you an answer like tattoos or whatever. But sometimes it's complex, and sometimes they don't even know themselves, I think.
Yeah.
I just tend to go, well, like, it is what it is. Just let it go, because trying to push for an answer doesn't make you feel any better.
No. And if he didn't end up answering, even if she got his call, it would have done her head in over the time too, I guess. So
yeah.
Wow.
How can women make the whole Tinder dating app experience better?
I think they need to be clear on what they want. And like Maureen said at the start, don't go in when you're when you're feeling down, although it is tempting because you want some, some feedback.
Yeah.
But go on when you're feeling good. So I'm one of those people that uninstall it and then reinstall it whenever I feel like it.
Okay.
And most of the time I go on when I'm feeling good and positive. And if you're clear about what you want, like everyone goes, oh, what's your experience on there? All the men, that's one of their standard questions. How have you been finding it? I'm like, great. I'm finding it great because I'm feeling good about myself. I know what I want, and I also know how to filter it. And so anyone that isn't, what I'm after, like, move to the left. And anyone that I am, like, I then go, let's jump on a phone call. So I talk to them before I even consider meeting them. So I'm not spending a whole heap of time meeting with people that aren't great. Almost everyone I meet with, I might not end up, getting it on with them, but almost everyone I meet with is a nice person, an interesting person. So I find that that's what works for me.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And I feel like it's linked to what Carmen said about attitude, and it's not right or wrong or good or bad. People aren't ill-intentioned, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Most people on there are just normal people. There's very few people who catfish. Like, all the media goes crazy on all the negativity around it, and mostly there's just some really nice people who want to meet women. So I think I have that attitude going into it, that they're well-intentioned, and use your feminine instincts that you've got.
Yeah.
Go with your gut. So
And
if
if you don't have those instincts, ask a friend.
Like me.
Yeah.
Like, because I've had several women say to me, and men, but there's these photos and that, and I don't know if they're real, like if it is like a catfish situation. And I'm like, if you've got any doubt, then it's no. But they look so nice. I'm like, no, it's no. And then also, sometimes people will just have a communication style that just doesn't match you. Like, I had a guy who I'd say, look, I'm really not up for a walk today. Why? Trying to convince me. And I just knew that we weren't aligned. He wasn't horrible. He wasn't unreasonable. It just wasn't, we weren't really vibing.
Yeah.
And then the third thing that I'd say is, let him go, let him go. So,
Yes.
I don't even like the term ghosting. I don't think it's very accurate. Often I think it's fair if you're talking to someone for a while and you're not vibing with it, or something's going on for you, or whatever it is. I think it's fair to unmatch with no explanation. I just think it's fair. So it's different if it's been 6 months, but it wouldn't be 6 months anyway, because I would say to try and get off the app and meet in person as soon as possible anyway.
Yeah.
So I think all of that, if you tie it up with a bow, is around your attitude.
Yeah. Okay. 100%.
Yeah.
Really. What is the best dating app platform? Obviously, we're talking about Tinder, but what has been the most popular out there? Or I don't know.
Yeah. So currently, and when I wrote the book, Carmen did a lot of research on this. So I'll just say, the Bumble's the one that's overtaken Tinder. Where the women, when you match, the women have to message first, so they feel quite empowered.
Okay.
And so it is, and it's really got a really nice interface, and it
Bumble?
just feels Bumble. Yes.
Kelly's just writing that down.
Yeah,
Bumble. Bumble. Sorry.
So if I was going to go back on them now, I would do Bumble and Hinge over Tinder. So Carmen, do you want to give some more background to that?
Yeah, look, I think they're much of a madness. A lot of people have got profiles on multiple platforms. So I've matched with people on multiple platforms.
Yep.
I like to go hard or go home. So I'm often on them, or I'm off them. If I'm on them, I'm usually on multiple ones at the same time for like a week. I fill up my funnel of men that I want to meet, and then I uninstall them.
Yeah, right.
I love the word.
So I'm ready to go back on again.
That'd be a healthier way to do it too. Otherwise, you're going to be ending up addicted to your phone that much, waiting for these messages and notifications coming through.
Yeah, I hate it. Like
I'd feel, I know.
I'm like a few messages, phone call, and then all right, great, we've got each other's numbers. Let's organise time to meet if the phone call went well, and then I just uninstall. But saying that, although Tinder isn't the fashion at the moment, I actually think I've probably been on more dates with nice people from Tinder.
Right. Okay. So more quality. The quality is in Tinder.
No, I think the volume's in Tinder.
Volume.
Really good at finding the needles in the haystack.
Yeah, right.
And like the women, they're on all of them anyway as well. A lot of them.
Yeah.
So,
you come across all the same. Yeah.
And we seem to be talking. We talk a lot about men and
functionality.
women catching up, but there's also women on women, men on men, and groups. And is that on Tinder? Is there like groups and stuff like that too?
There's not groups, but there's female and female. But I believe that most of the lesbian dating is on other apps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically targeted for them.
Yeah.
Did you want to tell me something?
Well, no.
Other half?
Yeah, well, you better play it right, otherwise I might jump the fence. You never know.
Okay, fair. Truth or not, or honest opinion, you can tell if you're getting laid within the first 3 Tinder messages.
I'd say I know if I'm getting laid in the first 30 seconds of
I was waiting.
Yeah. I was going to agree too, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
First 3.
And the thing is, this is what I want to say about men too, and all the research that I've done. They say men are after one thing. Do you know what they're after? A partner.
Yeah.
How many old single men do you see? Hardly any. They all want the percentage
when they
of
get
single
older.
women single, right?
Yeah.
So what men will do is they will, especially when they're younger, they'll spread their seeds, whatever, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
But all that's leading up to trying to find someone.
Yeah.
And it's usually when they're feeling established and confident in life and whatever. So I want to be clear about that as well. So both sides ultimately, this is not everyone because I don't particularly want a partner, but most sides at some stage in their life will be after a partner or a couple of partners, but they'll be willing to have a bit of a dabble while they're on the journey.
I love the
Double on the journey.
Dabble.
Oh, dabble.
Do you say dabble?
Oh, I've got all sorts of things going through.
Tinder.
Oh, there's so many things going through my head. Alrighty. Oh,
What?
bio. Oh, you don't want to do that one. I'll do this one. The bio says, here for a good time, not a long time. Do you swipe right?
No.
That's a lot.
No, because it's just so unoriginal and,
Like I just think the person who'd be attached to those words would not be the sort of person I'd want to have a good time with.
Probably wouldn't be able to get a decent convo out of them either.
Or
Like, can't you have I don't know.
no, yeah.
know?
That's so immature in a sense, isn't it, though? It's like, I don't know what to say. Hey, for a good time or a long time. It's like, well, bye, Felicia. Seriously.
Don't you have a good time and a long time? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Exclusive. So, no.
Exactly.
Make that good time.
It's illogical, so swipe left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm still
I like quirky ones where they things like, please, I need a date before Nonna sends me back to the old country.
Oh, right.
And it just, like, I don't know, any bit of something that's a little bit different and a little bit quirky.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to 100 countries and I got a PhD in history. I'm like, yeah, swipe right on you.
Yeah. And then also, is there some way that you can be a little bit self-deprecating? That's really attractive too. So instead of, the other thing they can do, I think, is that the negativity. I don't like time wasters, and I don't like, and they tell you all the things they don't like.
If they don't like, yeah.
Don't like drama. Left. If you tell me what you don't want, left.
That's left.
Yeah. So yeah, just be themselves and a little bit, just say something that's a bit different.
Yeah.
And not about yourself. Don't whinge. Don't get on whinging. Like, God, sorry.
No.
I've been in a relationship too long. You whinge at me. I'm swapping you left.
Yeah. And then the other thing, because I feel, I used to be an English teacher, so I used to get caught up on language and stuff and guys who couldn't spell. And I've now decided that that's really unfair and I'm going to let that go.
Because she's got a business partner who can't spell.
Is that you?
So
Let's ask them for a friend.
Like, tips for guys who just say, like, writing's not their thing, then don't write sentences. Just write words like adventures, full stop.
Yeah.
Nature, full stop. Like, or just, and so we're not asking you to write essays. We're not asking you to be what you're not. But yeah, just go with your strengths.
No, I reckon they should just get a friend to write a couple of sentences.
Okay.
No, Carmen, no. No, Vanessa likes.
You're not writing mine.
No, well, I will write yours.
Oh my God.
No, you go on your phone. If you're on Tinder, you can hit that microphone thing and you could talk it in, right? And that works to the best of the ability.
No, sometimes it doesn't. You reread it.
I know. I've sent you like microphone ones, and you're like, Nessie, you drinking? I'm like, no.
It's just saying the wrong things to me. Ah.
Okay, it's me. Full body mirror selfie with sunglasses indoors. Swipe left or right. Come on, really? That's no question. That's not a question.
Yes.
Indoors, sunny.
Yeah, but the thing is, women often go, gym pics, and half naked pics. I say, if you go to the gym nearly every day, and if you've worked hard and you've got a great body and you want to show it off in one of your pics, great.
Yeah.
Just don't have 10 of them.
Yeah.
You at the at the gym.
Yeah.
So in answer to that, yeah, sure, sunny's inside, full body, whatever. But if you've got a great body and you've worked hard for it, and it's in one of them, maybe you might prefer to do it at the beach or something, or outside.
Or could I just say, even if you don't have a great body but you're really strong, for Carmen.
Wait, Carmen.
And then also, so in terms of pics, you want women really connect to the face. So a lot of men don't they just have a whole lot of photos with them in groups, and you're like, which one is it? And then you get another photo in groups, which one is it? Because, my mate Steve is in every one, so you don't know which one's which. So always have, like, I think they need a picture of their face. And so some of them also have all their pics with sunnies. Please, women need to see your eyes. And then also something that shows, like, at least the outline of your body, like, more than just all face pics.
We don't care what the size or shape you are. Just don't fake it.
It's
And Kelly keeps tapping her teeth because
I want on profiles when I'm looking, I don't know about you ladies, but they need to smile, because I've had too many instances where I finally met them and then finally smiled, and look, it might be vain, but I need teeth. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Been a few.
me too. We had a friend like that. She's now since turned lesbian, but when she was interested in men, she turned up for a date and he was missing a tooth, and it was a turn off.
Yeah. Like, you just gotta let us know.
Hey, Helen, hey, B2.
Look, I had put it in one of my profiles many years ago that you must have teeth, because it was constantly, it started off with one tooth missing, then there'd be 2 teeth missing. This is all separate guys, by the way. And then in the end, last one was the whole lot missing. There was no warning on that one.
Did you have fake ones?
One didn't, one did. Yeah. So it's like, God, please. Just leave the teeth in as well.
Yeah,
just have
teeth.
That's a good point.
Yeah, a smiling photo.
Yeah.
Showing. Just
your pearlies, please.
Just be honest. Being you.
If you don't have teeth, let me know.
Okay, guys. Anyone listening out there? If you don't have teeth,
B2 needs teeth.
Don't talk to this one. She's big on teeth. What do you got?
Oh, it's you.
Oh, it's me. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What's one thing you wish women understood better about men on dating apps? Well, one is teeth.
Yeah, it's the communication.
I think that they're not ill intentions.
Yeah.
They're just trying to, do their best. Some of them are just a bit clueless, which is why Maureen wrote the book.
Yeah, true. Which we'll touch on.
Yeah, no, definitely. How to get laid on.
Also, I think women are very good at telling men what they don't want. How about we tell them what we do want? We educate them around how to communicate. We do it in a real positive way. I just think magic could happen.
Yep.
Yeah, communication. We say it nearly every episode. It's so true. It's communication. The better you communicate with that person, no matter if you know them or don't, the more you're going to receive for yourself, and the more you're going to give to them what they are after. So that communication.
Yeah. And then also the other thing, and this is just one of my thoughts on it, people want everything in a partner. They want them to be your adventure buddy. They want you to be your support person, your holiday buddy, your shopping buddy, your cry to buddy. Like, it's very hard for men or for anyone to be all of those things. So why don't you let go of that expectation?
So true.
You've probably got a good girlfriend who's going to be a good buddy, to a shoulder to cry on, or someone to talk something through with. Or a girlfriend that likes going shopping with you, or whatever it is. For me, I've got all sorts of different people in my life who fill the different roles. So I think it's both sexes are getting that wrong, where they're trying to find this perfect person who meets all their needs in every way, and they're doomed to fail. So if they have those expectations when they're going onto a dating app, it's really hard to find someone that they think is a good thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 100% what you're after.
No.
If you get 50%, I think that would be perfect. Thinking about, okay, my partner, there's a lot of things he does that I'm like, other things I'm like, yes. And we've been together for 25 years.
And that's just how it is all
if
round.
we're all two the same, and same with B2 here. It'd just be...
you're realists. You're realists.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Any advice? This is really a question for me.
I'll just sit down this one.
Any advice for people who are actually exhausted or burnt out from online dating?
Take a break.
Yeah.
It's been a long break.
Good time, Carmen.
Do stuff for you.
Yeah.
She needs to get back in the game, though. She's had her break.
So when you, my take on it is, when you've had a break, go in, but with a different strategy. Because if you keep just doing the same thing you did last time and met the toothless people, then maybe this time you need to change it up a bit.
Yes, I do.
And like Carmen does, straight away, if they don't want to talk on the phone, for her, for instance, they're out.
You might need
Yeah.
a video chat though.
Yeah. Video chat, please, in the light.
Yeah, and to me, whenever I'm on the apps, if they don't instigate getting off to another, like to WhatsApp or to something else, pretty quick smart. If they don't want to meet pretty quick smart, no thanks. So it's not exhausting because I'm not talking to them for weeks on end.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're not counsellors.
So that would be, they're the two things there. Either continue to take a break or try something different, like meet up groups for in your interests, like hiking or go for drinks or whatever, where you meet people in person.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to the gym.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That line, that highlight, that's me.
You need to put your glasses on.
I don't need glasses just yet. I have glasses. I'm in denial. Where can listeners find your book, podcast, TikTok?
So it's all under how to get laid on Tinder.
Yep.
.com.au for the book,
No,
the
.com.
podcast, like everything. You can get links to them from there.
That's how
Okay.
to get laid on Tinder.com.
Oh, .com, sorry.
Carmen knows.
Worldwide, Maureen.
Look at you go, Carmen.
Which is ironic because the podcast is most popular in 50% of the listeners are in the States.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Mm.
No,
Wait, us Aussies, hey? We rock.
I know. We do.
I love it.
We do.
I love it. Me again.
Yep.
Damn it. Okay. Have you got anything else you want to say?
No, I had my questions there.
Oh, she did, didn't she? Teeth. So huge thanks to Carmen and Maureen for keeping it spicy, hilarious, and seriously eye-opening today. I can't thank you both enough.
Look, if you had a laugh, learnt something new, I did, or now feel way more Tinder savvy, go hit follow and give us a cheeky 5-star review. Trust us, because your next match will thank you.
Yes, definitely get on, guys. Follow Maureen and Carmen. And get onto their book, get onto their TikTok. They've got a lot to say. We could talk forever.
Oh, we could. We could.
Well, you could.
I know.
I better go out there and talk to him.
Thanks again, ladies. Really appreciate it. Nice to meet you both.
Thank you so much.
Too.
Have a lovely long weekend.
Yeah.